Yes, this is Mr. Controversy, and this is the infamous three-point conversion station. Keep it locked.
Yes, we are back inside the three-point conversion sports lounge. I should say I'm back inside the three-point conversion sports lounge. Did you miss me? And I really meant that. I missed you all last week. But man, what a week. So much is going on. Which means I can't do this by myself. First I gotta say what up to my engineer, playing injured right now. He's about 60%, but still 100% better than all the rest of the engineers. What up, G?
Yo.
Then also, I got, the intellectual is out right now, out doing his thing. He had something to take care of, but of course we got someone who's familiar with the show. We don't even go to the bullpen right now. It's just, he's just in the rotation. We just gonna put him in as a starter. My man H.O. What up, H.O.?
What it do? What's going on, Atlanta? Glad to be here. Time to talk some sports. Saturday morning, you know how we do it. We rock and roll with it. Coffee is ready, and I'm ready, and I'm pretty sure you ready too. You got some energy pent up inside of you.
Yes, sir. Wait, is the coffee good? They make the coffee all right?
They get your almond milk.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah,
the almond milk is good.
Okay. I don't. Maybe they got word from somewhere, but it's better. Think this way is better than that way. That sound like Migos now. But yeah, I'm good though.
That's what's up, man. Yeah. It's a lot to get to, everybody. Man, where do we start? I mean, so much to get into, but definitely with the topics, we're going to get into the Zion situation. I know most everybody has hit it, but we're not necessarily just talking about should he play, if he's going to play or whatever, but more so everything. Like, how will it affect him, Duke,
right,
college basketball?
Right.
We'll get into that.
Yeah.
Also, talking about the Atlanta Hawks, we're going to do evaluation. I mean, it's not the second half. I hate saying that when they only got like 3 games left in the year. But this is the other half after the All-Star break, and we want to evaluate the first part.
Yeah, the down stretch.
The down stretch, yeah. So, but we'll talk about that. Also, we have special guest, Mr. Joe Cortez, coming on, and we're going to talk some NBA. We got to have some questions for him. Talking about the East, who's coming out the East, the West.
Yeah.
What teams we should look for. Then also we have Major League Baseball. It's back. Still dramatic. We might have a signing. We don't know. We'll see what happens with Harper. But, of course, Manny signed. And, we're just getting ready for this baseball season. So we got a quick hit. Stop it. What's on our mind? And make sure you check us out on Facebook Live at the threepointconversion.com or Three-Point Conversion, Facebook page, the Three-Point Conversion. Also, you can check us out locally on 1100 AM, WWE, The Real. Also, we're on iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Radio Now, and call in at 404-603-8770. And it's time to get to these quick hits. Let's get it. Shout out to Sharon Beats for the sick beats. So, Tiger Woods, we hadn't talked about Tiger in a minute, but Tiger is making news. He shot a 5-under 66 to move, which he was at 25th, from 25th to now he's tied for an 8th spot. And he is playing at the Dunkin' Donuts Classic. I'm sorry, my bad. The WGC Mexico Championship. But hey, as long as Tiger's doing well, man.
Hey, listen, anytime Tiger is in the news.
Right.
Anytime he can make it through the weekend, golf is happy. I don't know if golf even really. They just satisfied that he can just get to Sunday.
That's all they want.
That's all they want.
That's all they want.
I mean, just get to Sunday. So, and you can tell how important he is. Nobody talked about the first and second, third place.
Bruh, like I said,
we went all the way to eighth to talk about Tiger, but no one knows it's not known who's
Right.
actually leading
right.
the actual tournament. That's how you know he got power. So, it is what it is.
Yeah, because I saw this. I'm like, that's why is he playing in the 7-Eleven Golf Classic? Like, like okay. But it's Tiger.
It's Tiger.
That's all that matters. He could be playing putt-putt.
Yeah,
And Tiger ball out of putt-putt. We're talking about Tiger.
exactly.
And it's good, though. I mean, it lets you know how important he is to the sport, And like you said, he doesn't, just as long as he make it to Sunday, he doesn't have to win. And that's how big you are when, and it's not like golf is doing bad, but the fact that as long as your name is relevant, what other athlete we know who's been like that? And I'm not, golf is a different sport, though. But
No
still.
one moves the needle like Tiger. You know how you jump in the car, you just filled up,
Right.
and the needle goes from E to F.
Yeah.
You know you
Right. Uh-huh.
So sometimes it just take your time to get to the F. As soon as you crank up and you mention Tiger, he jumps straight to F.
Yeah.
He moves that needle quick.
Yep, that is crazy. Moving on. Lord, we gotta send your prayers and angels to the New England Patriots. Patriots owner Robert Kraft, if you hadn't heard, I'm sure you have, social media, has been charged with soliciting prostitutes. And this thing, again, I always say, can we count this as cheating as well? Like, should we put this on the book? I don't know, but this is crazy, man. Like, to me, when I saw this, honestly, when I read this, first thing I thought of is he made somebody mad. Mm-hmm. This is one of those, you think okay? Let's see how big you are. Watch this.
This right here is, to me, one reason the NFL had to settle. Mm-hmm. Because there is no telling how many of these owners will get exposed if they have to give up their cell phones. Pictures, text messages, and things of that nature. This is why they had to settle, because of situations like this. That, I mean, if he's doing this in the public, then imagine what kind of texting and emails and things of that nature going through his personal phone. So, yeah, they had to hurry up and do this. And I heard somebody on Facebook say he asked for Meek Mill jail cell.
That's horrible. That's horrible, man. That's horrible. Yeah, I mean, some people say it's because of Meek. Like I said, I think he pissed somebody off, and this was watch this. Now he gonna be all right.
It's been going on. It's been going on.
Apparently, he's not the only big name on the list.
No,
he's not. He's not. But again, he made someone mad, and because he made someone mad, I
think it was the president.
Being the president? Oh yeah. Oh, Trump. You already know how he is. But if it was him, he would have made he would have got on. You know how they do the special whatchamacallit when they get up and talk. It's a special statement from president.
Right?
Shady like that. Well, moving on. Bryce Harper supposed to be meeting with Phillies owner John Middleton in Vegas. Well, they supposed to met up in Vegas last night. Can we finally get him signed? I don't care where he go now.
It's just a matter of time for the Phillies signing.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, I mean, he's already turned down, as allegedly, multiple $300 million offers, and I don't know what he has the best home run rate, the most home runs in Citizen Park Stadium. So I guess this is an allure to get him
to come.
Hey, because if he leads the league in home run, I'm pretty sure they may write some incentives in there because of the short porch, and he's already has a great feel for hitting home runs in Philadelphia. Then he can earn his own money with just that alone.
Let me ask you this though: do you think does this put? I know he hasn't signed yet, but does this put them at the top?
Absolutely.
Well, was there any report that Scott Boras was in this meeting?
Nope, I ain't see anything.
Well,
he is upset right now. If he wasn't in that meeting, he is calling Bryce Harper upset.
He's probably there.
Yeah, Skype.
I'm this close to getting you $1 billion, $1 million contract, and you out here taking beatings.
Moving on. Sticking with Major League Baseball, they're putting in new rules to curtail sign stealing, according to SI.com. It's a SI.com report. Now, the rules include a ban on in-house outfield cameras from the foul pole to foul pole, live broadcasts limited to each team's designated replay official, which will be monitored by security experts, and also having all TV monitors in the clubhouse and bullpens be on it. They're going to be on an 8-second delay. That's the last one to me is too much. Like, come on, 8 seconds.
Baseball is always. They talked about the iRobot umpires. Now they talking about this. Then they talking about the 20-second pitch rule. Baseball, just can we just play baseball?
Right.
Let's just play baseball. What's going on with all the tampering? Let's just play baseball.
That's what it used to be. I mean, that's what we used to. That's why I always say, always call for like certain sports to change or it needs. But to me, baseball is a sport where just let it be like it is. It's just tradition. This is what it is.
It's about, as much as it is about athletic competition, it is as much about people being petty.
Yeah.
Like stealing signs?
Exactly.
He's going to bunt.
Change the sign.
Fastball.
Right.
I mean, like, if you know a guy's going to, by studying film, whatever, you know when a guy, he likes to throw a fastball in this situation. But if you at bat and you got a guy on second and he's telling you, he's going to throw a fastball, it's something like you might already know that he's going to throw a fastball.
Right.
But it doesn't matter. You still got to hit the ball. You still got to throw it. You still might strike out, and you knew it was coming.
Yeah.
To G's point, this is why. This is to your point, G, and I'm going to, expand on this. Mario Rivera, you knew he was going to throw the cutter. It's no other pitch, right?
It seemed like that was all he threw.
You knew he was going to throw the cutter, right? You knew that. You don't need to steal that sign. You knew he was going to throw the cutter, but you still couldn't hit it.
Yeah,
so what does it matter?
No, I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
What does it? Lee Smith, you knew he was throwing gas, right?
You couldn't stop it.
You still couldn't hit it. I don't care.
Even if it was like somebody like, he's going to steal second. Okay, well then you got to throw him out then.
Right. Moving on. That's our rant for the day.
Exactly.
Moving on. The NBA has proposed lowering the draft rule to 18 years old from the current age 19. So, of course, this means you will have high school players come in the league. And honestly, man, I'm torn on this because I want the players to go to the league. I mean, especially, and we'll get into this. You see what happened to Zion. You think about that. But at the same time, I just don't think it's room. Not room, but you shouldn't have high school players. Not these days. Going well. Actually, you know what? I take that back. The way the game is now, they might fit. But at once a point in time, I was like, I was against it. But now that I've just thought about it, shooting threes, you're not playing defense. This is perfect for an 18-year-old kid, a high school kid.
Now, this is the issue, and maybe I'm at fault for thinking deep. But what if a kid is 17 coming out of high school? Then what do?
You got to go to college.
or if they use that calendar year, like if he's turning 18 in October.
I'm 17 and 3/4.
That's how it was with Kobe.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly my point. He was 17.
But I think
right?
But I think it's going to be like you have to be 18 years old. Like, yeah.
So you're going to use like the Texas cutoff date, like September 1st. You're going to be 18 by September 1st or by June 1st.
Like going to
you
school.
go in the draft.
Yeah, you got to change the birth certificate.
Like going to kindergarten, you know, like, or whatever it is. Like if you turn 5 after September 1st, you can't get to school. Yeah, that's what it is.
So we were going to have birth certificate changing in high school?
Anyway.
It would not be the first sport to do that. And we all know what sport does that first.
Last but not least, an Iowa play-by-play announcer, Gary Dolphin, has been suspended after referring to Maryland's Bruno Fernando, basketball player, who is black, and he referred to him as King Kong. And we have the clip. We want you to hear it.
Iowa Hawkeye radio sports announcer Gary Dolphin is out for the second time this season. KCCI sports director Scott Reister is in studio now with more on Dolphin's latest controversial comment.
He said it in the postgame show Tuesday night describing Maryland Post player Bruno Fernando.
That's some pretty good long-range shooting, and then Fernando was King Kong at the end of the game.
Yeah, so if this is your second time, it shouldn't be suspension. Like, if he's suspended, they should be discussing kicking him, just firing him. But like I said, some people, they just get multiple chances.
I don't really see the problem with this, to be honest.
First of all, this is your second offense, so I think that's
that. Now, I have to hear the first offense first, but I don't.
But he was criticizing the play on the microphone.
He needed to expand on because he left it up for assumption.
But I ain't gonna lie, when I first saw it, I thought, but after reading that, he was suspended before with criticizing the play on the microphone.
Okay, well, I mean that I can see, because
it's just put it like this: you can't do that in these days today. You just can't.
Maybe if he'd said because of the way he's bigger than everybody, I don't know.
No, you can't do it.
I don't know.
Nope. So now I ain't gonna say that on the radio. All right, so we're gonna take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Good morning. This is Greg Hurd with your sports news break. The Atlanta Hawks lost a thriller last night to the Detroit Pistons, 125-122. Trae Young and Vince Carter had a chance to tie it, but missed on two three-point attempts. Young finished with 30 points and 10 assists. Georgia Tech's men's basketball travels to Miami to take on the Hurricanes today. The Yellow Jackets are coming off of a win and sit at 12-15. Georgia State Panthers are on the road today to take on Coastal Carolina. The Panthers are currently 19-8 and sit in second place in the Sun Belt Conference behind Texas State. The Atlanta Legends will play their first home game at Georgia State Stadium against the Birmingham Iron on Sunday. They are currently 0-2. The Atlanta United lost the first leg of the CONCACAF to Herediano 3-1, and they will get one more crack at it on Thursday in the second leg at Fifth Third Bank Stadium. Make sure to follow 3 Point Conversion for all of your major sports news updates, and it's where fans' opinions matter.
Hey, what's good? It's your boy Nate Burrows from the NFL Network and CBS. When the illest to do it. Hey, you listening to the 3 Point Conversion Radio. Don't you go anywhere. It's lit. It's lit.
There's a lot going on in the world, and your world is always changing. That's why it's important to stay connected. The latest news, the latest entertainment, the newest music. If it's in the air or on the air, it can be in the palm of your hand, wherever you are, with the iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio.
Over 1,500 live radio stations from across the country, and over 15 million songs to create your own custom stations. Text IHR to 45495 to download the app or listen at iHeartRadio.com. Standard text and data rates apply.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Cat Williams, and you are listening to 3 Point Conversion Radio.
Yes, we are back inside the 3 Point Conversion Sports Lounge. And this next segment, the hot topic, is brought to you by Cindy Cuts Barbershop, located on 3000 Chapel Hill Road, Suite 206, Douglasville, Georgia. Make sure you check them out. If you need a fresh cut, trying to get away, you know how we use the barbershop to get away from the wife, family, or just problems, whatever. Best place to go, man. Talking sports, politics, what's in our community, unity, just everything, man. It's and you don't have to worry about your business getting told or spread it. And make sure you check out Dwayne Chambers. He's the barber. Once you get in, you go all the way down to the left, last barber on the left. And you can follow him on Instagram at Simha the Barber. That's SIMHATHEBARBER. And shout out to my man Frank. What up, Frank? All right. So, Mr. Zion Williams, everybody knows what happened with Mr. Williams and
Williamson.
Williamson. I'm about to correct myself, but Williamson. And it was unfortunate, you know, how he got injured. We saw it. First of all, I just don't understand the fact that, like, really, I'm wondering now, just thinking on it, like, man, did somebody sabotage him? Like, bro, I've never seen anything like that. Like, that has to go into the Shaq tearing down a rim type. Like, I've never seen that before.
Yeah, he's well, you know, the PGs are custom for Paul George. Those are the Nikes that he wears and most players wear today. We've never seen a fast twitch, 280-pound guy move the way he moves. So how do you know there's a problem until there's a problem?
Right.
We ain't never seen nobody move like that.
But he wasn't. I feel that, but on that move, it wasn't like he was running 100 miles. You know,
if he tried to stop and go against what he's doing, all of the pressure goes one way.
That's just crazy.
But again, if Paul George, who's barely 220 pounds, if he did it, okay, cool. The shoe probably supports that, or it's just a defective shoe. But for somebody his size to do that with, I don't know if you saw the Twitter pic when they played against Louisville. You may have seen it where he was grabbing a rebound or grabbing the ball along with another Louisville player, and you could see the imprint that he made in the ball. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, he's flattening basketballs now? I mean, the kid is just strong.
Yeah, he is.
Kid is just strong. I mean, we've never seen that. I mean, just, you talking about blowing a tire? Woo! Yeah. All the lows came off that thing.
I've seen it once before. It happened to Manu Ginobili. But Manu Ginobili seems like he was the guy, he wore those shoes for like a whole season.
Oh, okay. Well.
and like the same pair of shoes. You
Right.
see it normally. A lot of players change after every game or every couple of games. I don't know how many games Zion had actually worn this particular pair.
Right.
If it was a brand new pair, that's a problem. But if he had worn them the previous couple games,
Yeah, I don't know. It's I just never seen anything like that. But either or, he got injured. They're saying it's a mild strain to his knee.
He won't play today, but he'll play the next game.
And brings my next question. You know, got a lot of people saying that, a lot of athletes saying he should sit down and everything. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think? I mean, I understand if he's to the point where he can injure himself again. You know, it's lingering, and I get that, but I'm just saying he's able to play. Should he sit down for the rest of the season?
This is, and obviously me being a Duke fan, everybody has already reached out to me and asking this question and things of that nature. But this is my thing. All of a sudden, the whole America cares about somebody else's money and their future. All of a sudden, the best way to answer this question is Zion and his family has to do what's best for them. There's no way in the world that I can tell this kid what he should do. I can tell you what I would do, but I cannot tell you what he should do. And I think people need to recognize that everybody is not in the same position. This kid is wired different. He loves to play. And he came to Durham to do this. So all that, you go sit down. I mean, let me ask you this. How many years did Shaq play? In college?
Years. Oh, in college, 3.
Yeah.
He played 3.
How many years did Jordan play?
3.
How many years did Isaiah Thomas play?
4. No, 2. He played 2. Right.
I mean, that's what you do. You play.
Yeah.
I mean, so all this, we should listen. I understand that this is a branding error. We understand that it's a branding error, but the kid gonna be all right.
And then, I mean, if you want to look at players that got injured, because they're talking about money, right? Look at Kenyon Martin. Kenyon Martin was out for the year, and he got hurt. He was the number 1 pick.
Mm-hmm.
And he was having a monstrous year. People forget about how crazy Kenyon was.
Right.
And was number 1.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people want to bring up Greg Oden got injured when he got to the NBA. That's different.
Yeah,
you know?
it is.
It's just, I mean, like you said, to me, I think that's part of the reason why I don't want kids coming out of high school, but I understand it if they're going through. I get it. But to experience that I guess real teamwork, playing with a team, playing under those type of fans, learning the game of basketball. Because in the NBA, you don't learn. To me, I don't think you learn the game of basketball.
Exactly. That's what
you learn schemes. You might learn what they play, but college, you learn how to shift your feet. You learn how to play help defense.
Ask anybody where Jordan was ranked going into college.
Right.
Going into college.
Right.
Right? And one of the problems with Kobe going straight to the league, he didn't ever learn how to play team basketball, but he finally learned because he was imitate Jordan all these years. So he had something to look to. This is the biggest problem with LeBron.
Man, I've been saying that. Like
this is the biggest problem with LeBron because he does not know how to. He doesn't understand from a brotherhood perspective of how to grind when you have to go from college, when you're in college, where you got to get up in the morning, you have to run, you have to help your brothers, you have to do this and do that. The respect and all these things that go behind it, the trust. See, this is where the trust is built.
Right.
Right? But now you got to, more than anything, you got to learn how to trust coaches. In LeBron's situation, learning how to trust coaches, learning how to trust players. Listen, it's a reason you do it. And my whole thing is Zion went to Duke to prove and show to everyone that I'm not just a dunker. You did not know what he was because everyone said he played against 8th graders, his last 2 years or whatever the case may be, a single A school, prep school or whatever. But now that you saw him on this stage, now you know.
Right.
Do you think Trae Young could have went from high school to pro and doing what he's doing now, do you think he could have been ready?
Heck no.
So we have the tugs of who would have been ready, who might not have been ready, and things of that nature. So I mean, it benefits players.
So let's say if he has that uncle or his father, especially that uncle, like when his father would go to the bathroom, Uncle Charles come in there and say, "Look, Neff, you need a good, you better than Luka. You better than this."
Right.
But let's say if he decides to go, how will it affect Duke? Or he decides not to shut it down. Mm-hmm. How will this affect Duke? Can Duke still be able to go through the tournament and possibly win? And mind you, let me say this and I'll let you go. I like what Coach K said. Coach K was like, look, you talk about we lost and everything. He's like, and I don't know what was asked beforehand. They just showed him answering the question. He was like, but when you think about it, he's like, we prepared for a team with Zion. We wasn't prepared to play without Zion.
Right.
So that's why we look lost. Mm-hmm. That's why we look like we didn't know what to do.
Right.
So if they are prepared that he's not going to play, is this team strong enough to still be?
I think some other players have to step up.
Who?
If you Jack White, Alex O'Connell, Javin DeLorean, if you notice, they've only lost one game at full strength. Every other game they've lost, somebody got hurt.
Yeah, right.
Right? And they lost early at full strength because they were still trying to figure it out.
Right.
So if you had to play without him, then yeah, we can make some adjustments. But some other, players will have to step up, especially like a Trey Jones will have to make shots and be more of a scorer than just a defender. Alex O'Connell will have to make shots. Jack White will have to make shots. I mean, that's just as simple. It's as simple as that. And you hear people hollering about, well, Zion goes out, you still got all these 5-star. Yeah, but experience trumps what you're ranked. So y'all can kill that. The experience trumps how you rank. And so I think going into the tournament, talent may trump experience in certain situations, but experience is going to trump all, especially if you played together for a while.
Well, let's see what happens because, again, I think he's able to play later on, and
he gonna be playing. I got the inside
before
on
I go. He wants to play.
Oh yeah, ain't no
he wants to play, and that's what I like about Zion. Which, like I said, maybe we would have seen this. It'd have been great to see a LeBron be as competitive. LeBron is very competitive, but be as competitive, and I'm playing and just college is a great. That's why I said with this proposal, I understand it, but it's a great place to learn the game. Not just basketball, but life. But still, we're talking about sports here. Learn the game of basketball.
I agree.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break. We will be right back to evaluate these Atlanta Hawks. Keep it locked.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Kent Bazemore from the Atlanta Hawks. You're now listening to 3-Point Conversion.
Have you been looking for a radio station that gives you sports,
I don't believe it! It's a touchdown!
entertainment?
Are you not entertained?
And other special interest talk shows?
Well, isn't that special?
All on one app?
Yo, that's dope. What app is that?
It's the real 1100 AM app for WWE. Grab it for free in your Google Play or Apple App Store today.
What's going on, guys? It's John Collins from the Atlanta Hawks. You're listening to the 3-Point Conversion Radio.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. And we have to talk about these Atlanta Hawks. It's been a I don't want to say weird, but it's funny because they've been losing, but I guess it's just the way they've lost. But you've been excited. You've been mad. It's a lot with it, man. Like, and then with me, and I'll say because, the 3-point conversion, we cover the Atlanta Hawks, and it's funny because you get, not only do you watch the game, but now you're in the locker room. You hear the presence. You feel, you see what they want to do. You see their goals and their reactions if they lose or if they win. It's a difference, right, rather than just watching watching on TV or just going to the game, period. But I want to play this with, got a chance to talk to Trae Young about, I guess, with him playing well the last few games. Here it is.
Now, you've been hot the last 10 games. You've averaged 20 and 9. Seems like the game is starting to slow down for you. Is that what's going on?
This game is definitely slowing down for me. I don't really like to get caught up in what I've been doing. I want to continue to do things the right way and play the right way and, continue to make plays. So can't get caught up in what I've been doing. I just got to continue to make plays. So, but the game is definitely slowing down for me.
All right. So
he said the same thing 6 times.
Oh, man.
We evaluating that too?
Anyway, see, I ain't going there with you, H.O. I ain't doing that, man. So anyway,
everybody heard it. I ain't making this up.
But anyway, so
shout out to Trae Young.
Trick or Trae, my man.
Ice Trae.
So with and saying you heard that, but just talking about the Hawks, what is your thoughts? What are your thoughts on them and how they've been? And
first, I have to say that they're building something that they are a little early in the process. How about that? And you probably saw it during All-Star Weekend, how John performed. Some people say Trae was robbed in the Rising Star game of MVP. You can see that the duo combined, the youngest duo combined, they're probably at the top of the list with John Collins and Trae Young. So I think that they're building something and they're in the process. And then in this process, I think they kind of early. And then not to even mention Kevin Hurdle and how he has probably opened some eyes to some of the people that, hey, he's a knockdown shooter that actually got Tayron Prince some trade rumor talk, right before the All-Star game. Right. So I think the core of Trae and John is somewhat similar to a Stockton and Malone.
And And I hear what you're saying. Like, people here at Stockton Malone, you know, they probably give him a stop it, but I hear what you're saying because
Right.
they're building something.
Right.
And it's like, okay, so you spoke of the All-Star.
Mm-hmm.
What I found out the most was Trae Young is a competitor. I didn't realize how much of a competitor he was.
Mm-hmm.
And once I realized that, now I see it on the court. I saw it on the court last night when he was going back. We had a clip of go to the 3-point conversion Facebook page. You'll see a clip of Reggie Jackson talking about that. And you can tell Reggie was upset. They won.
Right.
I mean, bro, you averaging 14.9, acting like you.
Right. Because
you had 32 points last night. But either or, but check that out. But how he was talking, going back and forth or going in on Reggie. Now, he's a rookie now.
Right.
Reggie's been in the league 7 years. You know, but at the All-Star game, I asked him during the time, I said, you lost the skill competition. And he said, I said, I know you said it was fun. Would you come back based on it's fun? A lot of people don't want to come back and do this. He was like, no, I want to come back because it's fun. I want to come back because I want to win.
Right.
I was 2 seconds of winning.
Right.
Or 2 inches, he said. So I want to win. Then to hear John Collins and see how disappointed he was sick. But you know, but it showed that, man, they really want to do this. And they kept speaking of each other and talking about each other. So with them leading this young team, and then you look at Herter, like you said, then you think about the fact that you got the veterans. You got veterans like Kent Bazemore, who wanted to stay, knowing that they were rebuilding. He could have got traded to anywhere else.
Right.
It's something about this team that everybody's building on and buying. Even with the coach, I think they're buying his philosophy.
Yeah, I agree.
You got something, G?
I do think that the Hawks are building towards something, and what a lot of people may not realize. I've had the privilege of having of being in the locker room as well, and getting some insight on where everyone is. It's like if you just look at their record, like, oh, this team is sorry. They should tank. And as far as like tanking, teams don't. I feel like teams don't actively tank. Like, they're not actually doing it.
Yeah, you can tell, right?
The Hawks are a team that they're very young. I don't know if they're the youngest team in the league, but they're fairly young team.
Yeah, Vince Carter messed that up.
Yeah, he messed that up. Yeah.
he messed up the average age for
exactly.
Yeah. But with the team being so young, you know, you're not going to have a lot of veterans that you just put in to bring the team along. It's like they have to lean on the coaching staff and maybe the 1 or 2 veterans that they actually have. So it's more of a trial by fire type of thing. Once they get more experience, that's when you'll see them improve.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be like that. That's what this year's been. Next year probably will be the same way, maybe a little bit better. But this is what a rebuild is. You have a lot of young players that you're putting out on the court, and they have to learn by experience.
But they're playing hard. They want to win. You look at the bench,
and when you see that effort, you see that they want to. They're learning something every game, no matter what happens. They're learning something from it.
And then, like, when they're losing, only person probably is John. John Collins is one of the most happy-go-lucky guys I've ever met. So when they lose, John Collins and Dedmon cracking jokes last night. But anyway, he was cracking jokes as him. But John Collins is, he's, hey, any questions? He's always like that. Everybody else, head down,
right.
Don't want to talk. And it's not like, no offense on Atlanta media, because some of them are good, but it's not like Atlanta media is giving them crazy questions. Y'all lost again today. Why y'all losing it? No, it's nothing like that. So you would think they wouldn't mind because you might hear some questions about hip-hop or some shoes or something like that. This is how it is in Atlanta.
Right.
But the players are just like, man, I I hate losing. But before the game, energy is there. So again, and people slept on it. And I want your thoughts quickly with Travis, the GM.
Mm-hmm.
You said that you thought they were making a big mistake, not just with Luka, but the way they were going and how they're building this team. Now, after we've seen 3/4 of the season gone, what is your take on it now?
Well, let me clarify my thought process before. I was saying that I didn't think the rebuild should have taken place. I thought that they should have traded as they went on with the last regime. Now, when Travis coming in, you didn't have a choice because we didn't know what he was. We didn't know what Lord Pierce was. But now that you see that John Collins and Trey is a part of that picking of what Travis has shown, he has shown that he knows what he's doing as far in this era. Now we kind of know what Lord Pierce is about because we didn't talk about DeAndre Bembry last year about improving. We didn't think that he was that defensive guy. We didn't think that he could play multiple positions. Mm-hmm. We didn't know if John Collins will still trend up, but now we see that. We didn't know if Trigger Trey, with all the pressure that he had from last year coming to this year, if his game would translate because of his size.
Right.
But now we see that. So with all of that being said, I'm pretty excited, and I can kind of see it gives you something to look forward to, knowing that they can put something like this around it, and then to start to hear news like if they have a chance, they might draft a Cam Reddish, and now that either Zion going out or lately that you've seen, now that you see Reddish, they say Reddish might be probably the better pro.
And like I said, and I'll end it like this. Starting to trust the management now. Like, it's good. The stadium.
Right.
Started with that.
Right.
Then Travis come in and put in his philosophy and what he wants. And with the thing I love about it the most, most everybody was upset. I don't want. Why we got to do this? Why are we trying to be like the Golden State Warriors? He put earmuffs on or whatever you want to call it to shut up everybody so he couldn't hear him, and he's continually doing what he wants to do. We got drafted. Think about it, we have Trey. We have the best young tandem right now.
Yeah,
in the league.
And
then he has 2 more picks or 3 more picks. Like, that's insane.
3 this year.
3 this year, yeah.
3 next year.
And he might. And now you can trade that and might even go get number 1 pick.
You have 2 possible lottery picks this year.
And like I said, you have to trust in what he's doing. If you can't trust in what he's doing, I don't.
And by the way, I get a Hawks C- right now, but a B for management.
Yeah.
How about that?
All right, we're gonna take a quick break, and we will be right back with Mr. Joe Cortez. Keep it locked.
Hey, this is Gary Payton. Y'all listen to 3 Point Conversion Radio. It's the bomb.
Have a sports injury? Need to see an orthopedic doctor? Ortho Atlanta is one of Metro Atlanta's largest orthopedic and sports medicine practices, providing orthopedic and sports medicine care for the whole family. With 37 physicians and 14 offices, the practice provides the highest level of care for injury of muscles, joints, bones, and spine. Ortho Atlanta offers convenient access to a full range of musculoskeletal surgeons and specialists. Ortho Atlanta also offers on-site physical therapy, pain management care, MRI imaging, and workers' compensation care. The Ortho Atlanta surgery centers in Austell and Fayetteville provide cost-effective, same-day surgical procedures in an accredited outpatient center. Hip, knee, Shoulder, back pain? Ortho Atlanta has you covered with specialists in all areas. Same-day appointments, orthopedic care for the whole family. Ortho Atlanta, Atlanta's choice for orthopedic and sports medicine care. Learn more at www.orthoatlanta.com.
What's up, man? It's Meta World Peace. Shout out to the 3-Point Conversion Radio.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Still on the subject of the NBA. And what better person to talk to about the NBA than my man, Mr. Joel Cordes. What's going on, Joel?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me.
Hey, what's up, Joe?
You know, it's always great talking basketball with you, sir.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I love coming on and talking the game with you guys, too. And thank God the All-Star break is over.
Man, thank God I'm out of Charlotte. Charlotte was but it was cool, but man. Anyway, look, I know we're still in the season, but this saga that's going on with the New York Knicks, and whether it's Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, Kyrie, Irving, Jimmy Butler, or whoever it is, we know they can get at least 2 max players. What players do you see going there? And then not only that, but what players do you see probably will work out the best in New York?
Well, let me start by putting a giant asterisk over any rumor that we ever hear about New York, because very often that's started by New York media. If you look at the original source for those things, it's often coming from the New York Post or the New York News and places like that. And they are notorious for putting those rumors in there because they've got huge readerships and they want the clicks, they want the reads, they want the subscriptions. So you always got to take that with a big grain of salt. But like you were saying, they've got 2 max cap spaces. New York is still an attractive free agent destination just because of the legacy that's there, but it's a huge detraction with their ownership group. It's a huge detraction with the dysfunction that's been in that organization over the last 20 years. So it's not as attractive as you'd think. The player that I think will go to New York, bar none, I don't see any universe where Zion Williamson does not wind up in New York, Nick. I just think it's going to be the number one. New York obviously they've got the worst record in the league, tied with Phoenix right now. I'm not talking necessarily Patrick Ewing in the frozen envelope or any conspiracy theories. It seems almost an inevitability that Williamson will wind up with the Knicks. And it's a really interesting front line then with Kevin Knox, where you've got 2 different forwards that are very, very multi-talented, multifaceted in what they can do. I don't know which one you call the power forward and which one is the small forward. I don't think it matters today, but that would be dynamite. And then you've got the free agent, money to spend. I don't think that we'll see Kevin Durant or Anthony Davis in either of those places just because they've made their money. They've played on big stages. Davis, obviously New Orleans is a little bit smaller, but they're going to be looking to win. And go into a young team with a one draft pick like Williamson, another young guy with Knox, I don't know that that's the type of situation they want to get themselves into, especially when, if you're Kevin Durant, you could stay in California and just go over to the Clippers and pair up with Kawhi Leonard or whoever's going to wind up there and have a much better situation. New ownership group that hasn't been dysfunctional in L.A. You've got Doc Rivers as your coach. You've got some very leftover, interesting pieces that are going to be on that roster. That just makes more sense. Could Kyrie Irving wind up there? Could Jimmy Butler wind up there? Guys who are looking still for that right situation. A guy like Jimmy Butler really worries me in Philadelphia because, again, he's not a great fit, but he worries me in New York just as well because he's going to want to be the alpha guy, and with young players around him, may not be the type of leader they want. He proved that in Minnesota. But New York's not going to care about that. They're just going to see the name Jimmy Butler and sign him. In an ideal world, let's say everything broke right for New York, I would want to see Kyrie Irving and Klay Thompson wind up there if Golden State has to make a choice and keeps Durant or Klay. And they might have to make a choice like that. You don't know. But I could also see DeAndre Jordan leaving and then New York panicking and spending their money on a guy like Nick Vucevic from the Magic and just trying to, keep people happy with the losses. You could see somebody like D'Angelo Russell, from the Brooklyn Nets. Maybe they can pry him across over. Those are not going to be the top flight names, but the Knicks have had big money like this before, and when was the last time they actually landed a guy they wanted?
Wow. Joe, I'm gonna say this HO, man. It's just like going to a good church with you. You always get something good, and always make me feel good when I finish talking to you. So that's a compliment. Just want you to know that's a compliment, and I always get something. You always throwing some attaboys at me, and boy, I tell you real good with this.
That hits too close to home because my dad's a preacher.
Oh, okay, I got it. So you truly understand what I mean. Right. But staying in the East, we talk about all these trades that were made, and Boston did not make any. We talking about Toronto getting Consol. We talking about Philly adding, and Milwaukee getting Meritage and things of that nature. So with all these trades being done, and now we on the down stretch, I want to kind of get your thoughts on who you think, with all these things, all these moving parts, who has the advantage in the East now?
I think it's still Milwaukee until proven otherwise, because no other team besides the Milwaukee Bucks has Giannis Antetokounmpo. It's as simple as that. Everybody else loaded up. I love the deal that Toronto did to get Marc Gasol. I even think, adding Jeremy Lin as a backup point guard after they lost Delon Wright in the trade, there's a lot of wisdom there. That's great. I was really happy with Philadelphia. It's underrated that they picked up Mike Scott. They needed some more shooting. Right. He's a guy that can play stretch four for them. They've got a lot of different options at the wing right now, although many of those guys are mid-range jump shooters. But James Ennis, Jonathan Simmons coming over, those are live wing bodies that they can throw at a guy like Antetokounmpo and at least, keep things alive. And even picking up Boban Marjanovic, who's backed up Joel Embiid now that he's been hurt. He had a huge game the other night for Philly. So that's great. Boston was already deep. They didn't have to do much besides just kind of let that roster continue to get healthy and cook together. It's going to be just an absolute brawl in the Eastern Conference. But the Bucks just continue to add shooting around Giannis. Is there going to be enough secondary scoring and secondary creation in Milwaukee for the times that a team can clamp down on him or the times that he's got to sit in a playoff series? I think the answer is yes, because now you've got Eric Bledsoe breaking down the defense. Malcolm Brogdon is just one of the smartest players out there. Chris Middleton can knock down shots. Brook Lopez has been a great fit for them. And the whole bunch of stacks now with guys who can knock down a three-pointer and do some big things. We saw Nikola Mirotic light it up last year when he got to New Orleans, and he didn't have to be a primary offensive cog, just a secondary guy. He is going to feast for days in Milwaukee.
Once again, we're here live with Mr. Joel Cortez. He is the owner of the Basketball Writers, and you can go to that site, bballwriters.com, where they cover NBA, WNBA, EuroLeague, esports, gambling, G League, golf, all of that.
Golf. Golf is for the off season. That's when the guys are done.
Seriously. So moving to the West, Houston Rockets. They made some. I wouldn't say a big splash, but they made some much needed moves. Like you look at earlier when they got Kenneth Faried. And then also they got Iman Shumpert. With adding those, especially type of players that they needed and they lacked, does this put them back in that position where they can possibly defeat the Golden State Warriors?
The short answer is no. I like every move that they made individually, and it made sense. Those were guys that were available. They got them for very cheap. Kenneth Faried has a live body inside. They needed another motor like that. When Clint Capella sits, he's been fantastic for them as a role man. He's great on the boards. but he has always been a defensive minus. That's why he fell out of the rotation after he got a big contract in Denver. He doesn't help their primary problem. Iman Shumpert, if and when healthy, does. That was a nice pickup. You can probably consider him an upgrade over what Luke Mbamute did for them last year as kind of their third defender off the bench. Shumpert can fill that role, but they're still one defender short. Their roster really worked last year when they had P.J. Tucker and then Trevor Ariza in that starting lineup at the forward spots, and you surrounded James Harden with plus defenders and Clint Capella and Chris Paul, and then Tucker and Ariza. And right now they've had to put Eric Gordon in the starting lineup all year, which helps them shooting-wise and offensively, but he's not that type of defender. They have not had those options off of the bench, and now they add Shumpert, who I would like to see, once healthy, move into the starting lineup instead of Gordon just to balance things out. But they still are one body short, and whether they're going to find a guy like that now, maybe somebody who's coming back from China when those contracts are up, maybe it's somebody who still gets bought out, although we're ending the period where that can happen. I just don't see Houston having enough guys to be able to throw at all of those shooters Golden State can deploy, much less the Marcus Cousins problem.
Hey, Joe, last question for you in the West. Having a good game the other night, how does Enes Kanter help Portland going down the stretch?
He helps in that they don't have to change the way they play when they get to their second unit, and that was one of the huge problems. They had no front court scoring when Yusuf Nurkic would sit. And Kanter is almost like a Nurkic clone for good and bad. Both of those guys are an absolute load on the block. They both play with a pretty high motor. It's tough to get them off the boards, Kanter especially. Nurkic has improved as a defender. His instincts have been a lot better this year, but neither of those guys has much quickness, and Kanter has been an abomination defensively throughout his career. He does not get down in a stance. You can pick and roll him to death. He doesn't close off lanes. That's not going to improve. So they're able offensively to keep doing what they want, usually at the forward spots, just kind of throw out some big lanky guys who can knock down a shot and play defense. They can do that either way now, but they still have that problem inside. So it's a plus. Probably not one that moves the needle enough where it vaults them into that, next tier of competition in the Western Conference. They're still probably in that 5 to 8 seed either way.
Mm-hmm. Well, all right, there you have it. My man, Mr. Joe Cortez. You can follow him on Twitter and social media at bballjoe, and also, again, follow his website, which is B-Ball Writers, and that's basketball writers. Joe, it's been a pleasure. We appreciate you, man. Can't wait till you come back to talk some more hoops. And you have a great weekend, sir.
All right, Joe.
I appreciate it so much, guys. Keep doing what you do.
All right.
Thank you. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
What's happening? It's your man Big T doing big things. Y'all know what it is. ATL Hawks official DJ and Rap City Forever. You're checking out the 3-Point Conversion Radio. You dig?
You are tuned into WWE AM 1100.
The opinions expressed during the sponsored programs on this station are strictly those of the program hosts, guests, and callers and are not necessarily those of Beasley Broadcast Group, this station, its staff, other advertisers, or agencies.
What's going on, folks? It's LA and Eric from Brownstown, USA podcast on the 3-Point Conversion.
You know, LA, these guys may have the smarts on a national level, but I think we can take them when it comes to the 216.
Man, stop it. You're a garbage watch. Anyway, check us out weekly for updates, news, stories, and opinions you can count on about football from the heartland of America, the Cleveland Browns.
Only on the 3-Point Conversion. Now let's throw it back to the Sports Lounge now!
Hey, what's going on, sports fans? It's the 2018 Battlegrounds champion, Damian Adams, from The Real Deal with Damian Adams. Now, you can catch my show weekly on the 3-Point Conversion station on Spreaker Radio. But for right now, I'm doing what everybody else should be doing. and that's listening to Mr. Controversy and The Intellectual in the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge.
No mercy. Don't let up on him. Go hard on him, Mr. Controversy. Hit him with the stop it button.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. I'd like to thank everyone who's listening and who's watching and who supported us. We appreciate you and who's supporting us. We definitely appreciate you here at the 3-Point Conversion, and we ask you to please keep it going. And once again, it is recognized, so we're not ignoring it. It actually pushes us and keeps us going. So we appreciate you. And now it is time for the most infamous, the most famous Stop It segment. Let's get it.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Yes. S-T-O-P, new word, I-T. Stop it.
Stop it. Get some help.
All right, H.O., it's on you. What's your stop it moment, sir?
My stop it moment this week goes out to Chris Paul and James Harden for complaining about the refs. You up 19 points, and you complain about the refs because of 2 or 3 calls down the stretch. The refs had nothing to do with you blowing a 19-point lead against a team that's not even in the playoffs. James Harden is no way he cannot complain about referees as much as he traveled. Please stop it. His frequent flyer miles should be loaded because he travels all the time. He goes to the free throw line more than anybody in the league over the last 3 to 4 years. There's no way you can complain about referees.
I ain't got nothing to say. Nice. Yeah. So my stop it goes to, well, Paris is hosting the 2024 Olympics. And they are pleading, and they actually put it in for the committee to vote, for them to debut a competition of breakdancing. No, really, like breakdancing. They want that to be part of the Olympic competition.
Mm-hmm.
Stop it.
Shaq go get in it.
No, we're going to have the turbo,
all of them.
Boogaloo shrimp.
You know how many people careers could have blown up because after breaking turbo, them it was a wrap for them. And just think if they had this, man. Just think, where are you going? Where are you going? I'm taking my son Jason. We got to take him to breakdancing class. He's trying out for the. We want him to get in the Olympics. Wow. Like how would you?
I don't know if that will ever sound right. I'm an Olympic break dancer.
Yeah, that's.
Yo, how would you? How would you? Like take points away if you moonwalking, and what the dust, they have dust so they can see the type of dust, the amount of dust is coming up from your move. Like what? Like if you don't land properly after you do the egg roll and you spin and you got to land on, you know, you with the with your hand on your head. Like what? I don't get it. Your b-boy style got to be a perfect 90-degree angle. Like I don't get it, bro.
You got to spin on your head a certain number of times,
and you can't kind of can't tilt.
You can't use your hands to like kind of get yourself going. You have to just start on your head and start spinning. They're gonna have all these special rules.
Oh, boy, I know Crazy Legs is turning over in his grave. I know you're alive, but I'm just saying. He's turning over in his grave. But go ahead, man. What's your stop it?
Speaking of France, I don't know why they're allowing this, but this is for all the sci-fi nerds out there. The Fencing Federation in France will be allowing lightsaber dueling as a competitive sport. So for all the Star Wars fans out there, this is what you have dreamed of your entire life.
Oh my God.
As you can take your plastic lightsaber that you got at Barnes & Noble for $200, and you can go over to France and compete for money.
For money.
Lightsaber dueling is now a sport.
Wow.
Then next
Stop it.
What is going on with France? Like, man, are they getting cocky because they have the Olympics?
That the Star Wars kid, if you remember, was one of the first viral videos of some kid playing around, like acting like he had a lightsaber. It was just like this stick, but he was like twirling it around and everything. He can now come out of hiding.
Right, and come in and be the man and make money.
Yes.
Nah, parents don't have to think their children are special.
They just coming up with all kind of stuff.
Bruh.
Now. What, they gonna have a chicken wing eating contest in the Olympics next?
Nah.
Bottle top reading.
You know, I would not be surprised if competitive eating ends up in the Olympics. If you have breakdancing, you might as well have competitive eating. Remember when ESPN used to show like all the stuff with the with wood, like chopping down trees as fast as possibly can? Yeah. That's gonna be an Olympic sport, man.
Now it's gonna be cooking.
That's crazy.
CrossFit, that's gonna be an Olympic sport.
Yep.
Wow.
Who can make the best soup?
We running out.
Chili cook-off.
The Olympics starting to
chili cook-off.
The Olympics starting to be like the NBA dunk contest, man. So
anything goes.
Anything goes.
Yeah, I feel
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
Let me break down to y'all what's so dope about the three-point conversion. First of all, everybody is a fan of the game first. Second of all, everybody is a student of the game second. And third of all, we're the average sports fan just like everybody else. We're not coming in here, walking with our nose tipped high, acting snooty, acting brand new. This is a grassroots organization. Bar none. The three-point conversion, where fans' opinions matter. Be sure to visit the website www.the3pointconversion.com. Get your fix, get your articles, multimedia, and everything else that you, as a sports fan, need. So again, the3pointconversion.com. It's where it's at, man, where fans' opinions matter.
Attention, radio station listener. This might make you say, oh my god. Get this station in 1,500 live stations, plus a custom station you can create all in one. Right now. Download the free app now at iHeartRadio.com. Oh my god.
Whether it's quick hits, what's on my mind, the infamous Stop It segment, you got to be there every Saturday morning on the 3-Point Conversion station for the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge hosted by Mr. Controversy. Get him!
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. H.O., man, real quick, what you got going on this weekend, man?
Be at the house game tonight, courtside. The birthday weekend continues. Be down there with my main man. And I'll be courtside tonight.
What?
Stoke it up.
You ain't had to say that, dog. Look, he had to throw the courtside in. All you had to say was, I'm going to be at the game. I'm going to be at the game.
Now somebody they thought I probably would be in the locker room with G. I'm not gonna be in the locker room with G though. I'm gonna be on contact.
So you gonna be? Are you sitting next to 2 Chainz or the Gucci?
Whoever show up.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna be. It's all good.
All right. G, what you got going on this weekend?
I'll be at the Hawks game, but I won't be courtside. I don't have that kind of privilege.
I know, right?
Actually, you do. You can walk past, say what's up.
Look at him. The security might tell us, sir, you can't talk to him right now. Can you please?
Yeah.
Right.
We know you're gonna have a security detail.
Yeah, right.
It's the same one with Harry the Hawk. They're wearing all black with sunglasses.
So y'all get free food. So okay, so I'm going to be at the game as well. So me and G will be at the game, covering the game.
Right.
Covering the Hawks game.
Yeah, y'all let me know what y'all want me to order.
Yeah, let's see.
We test this chili cook-off.
Chili cook-off.
They got chili. Get y'all some popcorn.
Oh, man. They got fritters. They don't have, they got fritters down there. They get the special stuff. So, yeah, dog, I'm going to walk over there and get one. Trying to play it up like I'm on a baseline or something. So, but all right. Let's move to NFL football. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers fans, where are you? Where are you? Man, this is crazy, man. What's up, Uncle Sean at Seneca's Barbershop? You listening? This is his team also. Frank. So, where do we begin? Let's begin with the Antonio Brown. We'll begin with him.
Okay.
All right. So, he met with Mr. Rooney. They had a discussion.
Mm-hmm.
They sat down like men, and they said, you know what? It's best we just split.
Right.
That's great. So if that happens, it's good. But now, where does he go? Where would Pittsburgh trade him?
Got to trade him to the NFC.
Have to.
Got to. I said that Seattle would probably be a good fit.
For him. If I'm Steelers, I'm like, F him.
Ooh.
We need to trade him to Arizona. Get Patrick Peterson for you. Because I don't think AB is making more than Patrick. He has to be. Trade him for Patrick. You need defense. You have Hayden. Then you have Patrick Peterson. Now that'll cut away from not having AB. You might not have to score as much.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why trade him to somewhere he wants to go? Unless now, because of how it ended. Now, if you all came up with a resolution where you saying, you know what, man, it's not gonna work,
right?
Because we like they told him we can't get rid of Big Ben. We know it's his fault, but we can't get rid of him, so we're gonna trade you. Then okay, but for the most part, man, I'm not worried about AB. Now, if we're talking about great places, yes, Seattle would fit. Seattle would be great. The Bears would be great. Okay, I'm just being biased. But Seattle would fit.
Mm-hmm.
If they had the cap room.
San Francisco, too.
Oh, San Francisco, of course. I think Tampa, if they had the cap room, he's there with Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians, he's played with him before. Even though, he messed up because he talked about his Kango, so you already know Arians ain't going for that.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say if he didn't say anything about Arians and his Kango, Tampa would be, you got this young quarterback. But the only thing is, though, only reason why it might not work is because we all know that he has to be the alpha dog. And you already have, what's my man's name?
Jameis.
No, the wide receiver.
Evans.
Even though Evans is not that type of player, though.
Yeah, but
But could it work? Yeah, so it might not work. So Seattle might be Seattle and San Fran.
But San Fran and, Shanahan, ego, too. I don't know if that's a clash in personalities.
But that might.
But that's where he wants to go. That's kind of where Brown wants to go.
Yeah,
you do want to go to San Francisco?
Yeah, he wants.
Is he going to change his attitude?
No.
He may not feel like he has to.
But they might need that, though. They might need that.
But the thing, the issue wasn't the thing is with Brown. The issue was never with a coach, as far as his attitude goes.
Right.
It's been with his quarterback.
Right.
When you have a quarterback who can go out and criticize his teammates at every turn and not have any semblance of accountability.
Right, I agree. Yeah.
That's going to wear on somebody. So the issue is with the quarterback. If you go to San Francisco, it's going to be Jimmy Garoppolo or whatever janitor they get off the street as the quarterback. And that's not going to be a problem because that Garoppolo and those janitors won't have radio shows to criticize him every week. And if they do have something to say, it will be in the locker room, in-house, and we're not going to know about that kind of thing.
And Jimmy G is Italian, and you don't want to mess with no Italians because you know how they get on. You know, good fellas, and so, you better keep it cool over there with Jimmy G. But
see, Jimmy G won't like do it in public though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I understand. But all of a sudden, they be missing. but do you see a problem with the coach allowing Big Ben to not take the accountability? I think in the back of AB's mind, brother, you got to have him back at some point.
Is Big Ben married to Mr. Rooney's daughter or something? Like, is he fathering one of the, like, man, because why is he still on the team like this? I understand, okay, you won 2 Super Bowls. Maybe that's, because think about it, he's the only person to win a Super Bowl that's still on the team. So, besides coach, I mean, of course, but.
Something has to be going on because even the GM came out and said, yeah, he has the right to criticize who he pleases. And, you know, it's like he's got 52 kids under. I'm like, I know you can't say that Ben is the daddy to everybody else on the team.
Yeah, that's bad.
So it's something wrong. We got a comment on the on Facebook from LA. He said that why is Tomlin not catching heat for any of this?
That's my point. That's what I'm saying. That as a coach, if I'm AB, right? If I'm AB, and you just go allow the quarterback just to talk to me any kind of way, and you gotta hold him accountable. Somebody got to say something to him.
Right.
Like, if you're going to preach accountable as a head coach, like, if you're going to tell me to run the right route, be in the right position, you know, be there when you need to be there, don't be out of position. You go hold me accountable for running my routes, being on time, not being on time, things of that nature. Everybody needs to be accountable, and it's unfortunate that for whatever reason, because Pittsburgh don't, I guess, talk about, or the turnover of the head coaches is not as rampant as other places. You still got to, at the end of the day, just like I said, at the end of the day, who's ultimately responsible? The head coach. So he got to catch some heat.
But you know what? In Pittsburgh, and James Harrison, Debo talked about this. He said that when he said the problem is that he's a good coach. He said I like Tomlin as a coach, but he's too friendly and too buddy with the players. He said the team has always been like this, and I think it's an atmosphere. It's an atmosphere to just, I don't know, like they're used to this, and that's why. Like, think about the Santonio Holmes situation. They let him go, right? Nate, and to me, I thought at that time that was a warning to Big Ben, like, look, get your act together, or you gone. But then, what else happened with Pittsburgh? It was another
Mike Wallace.
Wallace, that situation, and so, and then they keep letting the situation, because we hadn't got to Le'Veon yet. But with the Le'Veon situation, it's been like this for a while. And to me, I knew something was wrong when you had your offensive lineman talking about like we don't trust, you know what I'm saying, is wrong. I understood that, but to me, if you're trying to sign this guy, you don't come back. You don't come for the running back, especially when it's about business.
Right. Mike Patton said the problem is Colbert, the GM. Simple. He just undermines everything that Tomlin does. Maybe him and Big Ben grew up together. Or maybe him and Big Ben got something.
But the way he was talking about Big Ben, but Tomlin is with Big Ben also, but I feel him on that. Because I watched the the interview, and stuff he was saying about Big Ben, it was like, bruh, like, grow some.
Well, it's the thing. It's like if Big Ben can't be free of criticism, if he's going to criticize his teammates, like he can't be free of criticism. Like you hear that. Like I saw the 30 for 30 about the Pistons, and when Adrian Dantley was on there, he's one of the saltiest players ever,
right?
As far as that team, but
yeah,
he's like during one meeting, he said Isaiah Thomas was like, "You guys need to do this. You need to do this. You need to do this." And Dantley's like, "Well, wait a minute. What about you? What is it that you need to do?" And so there needs to be someone holding Ben accountable too, and it seems like no one is.
No, and I don't.
That's what AB has noticed. I don't think he's handled all this the right way,
right?
But he's not wrong as far as pointing it out.
But he's crazy too. So, like you said, and that's why it's not coming out.
Yeah, that's why it still looks bad on AB because he's not handling it well.
Because if you notice, anybody that still has the little, not a box, whatever, but you had a part in the middle of the box, they are crazy. If you thinking they devish.
You saw just look at his mustache.
They devish and all
he got
that.
A blonde Hulk Hogan looking mustache.
Yeah, like, bruh. So what about Le'Veon? They came out and they said, all right, Le'Veon, we're not going to touch you. You're free. Where do you see him going?
Oh, well, he's a free agent.
Yeah, he's a free agent, so he can pick.
Yeah.
So now we can say what would be the best.
I wouldn't be surprised if San Francisco try to get him either.
With Breida, but they got
Jets.
Breida.
Okay, then you got Le'Veon. This is a 2-back league, remember?
True.
The Jets, the Jets have the money. The Colts might have the money.
I don't think
the Colts have the better team.
But why would you? But if I'm the Colts,
yeah, I don't know if I mess up that.
I have Mac, and I wouldn't let Mac did well. I'm saying you got this young running back. Why would you can spend your money elsewhere to get? Mac did well, and he was injured, and he still played well.
I do like Mac.
I like Mac.
Now I think one of their offensive linemen just retired. So you gonna have to fill that spot.
Why don't the Browns get him? I mean, they're getting everybody else. The Browns getting every other running back, so why don't they?
They just got Kareem. Oh, so they're gonna have Kareem.
I don't know.
They might as well.
I mean,
and Le'Veon Bell.
You might as well.
I don't know. Philly may not be a bad choice either.
Philly? Do they have the space?
Then you might as well go to the Chiefs.
You need to come to Chicago. That's what we need to come to Chicago, but we don't have the money.
Yeah, they can cut McKinnon. Mike Patton said they signed McKinnon. Yeah, but they can cut him.
Cause see, and I said Tampa Bay as well, but like I said, the cap money, they don't have the money. But I said if Tampa had him, and then they can get AB, but they don't have the money. You know, it's not like basketball where you have contracts. You can, like, if this was basketball, then 49ers, they can probably trade Dwight Clark's salary. His contract. You know how basketball, they be taking contracts people ain't played in 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
But Tampa can't do that.
Nope.
You know, so
they don't have a running back either.
I don't see the Jets. I spoke of the Lions, but nah.
You can't have everybody.
Like, you think he would go to a team where he hadn't won for his money?
I don't know what part of the attrition that he's in. Because, you know, once you get paid, then you want to win.
Right.
But is he still, is he still in that I got to get paid mode?
Right.
And if that's the case, then it may be the Jets.
And wouldn't that be, and we'll leave it like this, wouldn't that be funny if he ended up signing for like $12 million somewhere? Would the Steelers be heated
Exactly. Yeah.
just to go to the Super Bowl?
That's
Is there
crazy.
a Super Bowl team that you see him going to, like, that's on the way?
A contender?
Like, I wouldn't want him to go to Green Bay.
He'll cold weather back.
That's what I'm saying. He's a cold. So he'll go to Green Bay.
Yeah.
Eagles.
Yeah, I like Philly for him. I think Philly may be at the top of the list.
Why don't y'all see the Bears, man?
Nah.
Why? We throw to the running backs.
Do they have money?
I don't know.
See,
no, you ain't got no money. You done paid the defense.
You just paid Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
You're gonna ask Khalil Mack to take a pay cut already. That's how you get laid.
You got to sign. You got to, and I'm pretty sure a couple of them dudes up front need to be paid too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Trubisky, you got him on a rookie contract for the next couple of years.
Yeah, so we good. But anyway, we'll see, man. But like I said, the Steelers, pray for the Steelers if you're a Steelers fan, because I don't know what's going on there. It just, you had something going. You thought they were going to win the Super Bowl within the next 2 years. Like 2 years ago, you know what I'm saying? You thought they would at least be in the Super Bowl last 3 years. And how it exploded. You had the best 2 offensive players on your team, and now they're not there.
They may not make the playoffs next year.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. Sad, man. And we will be right back.
Hey, y'all, it's Channel 2's Taisha Fernandez, and you need to listen to the 3-Point Conversion. 3-Point Conversion. 3-Point Conversion. 3-Point Conversion. 3-Point Conversion. 3-Point Conversion. Tune your radio.
Tune in.
Now. You can tune in to this radio station on any smartphone or tablet. iPhone, Android, BlackBerry, Nokia, Samsung, Windows phones, or whatever you have. Download the free TuneIn app from your phone or tablet's app store. Tune in with music, sports, news, and comedy from over 70,000 radio stations around the world, including this Beasley Broadcast Group station. Check it out at tunein.com or your app store.
Hi, this is Aditi Kinkabwala with the NFL Network, and you are listening to the 3-Point Conversion.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. So, spring training is beginning or has begun. But H.O. is not a happy camper because he is an Atlanta Braves fan. H.O., I'm giving you the spotlight, man. You the floor. Why are you so upset right now? Are you not happy?
The ownership of the Braves, Liberty Media, consistently and continues, or how should they say it? They are consistently consistent in not being able to adopt an attitude of winning. Let me give you an example. In football, we understand this, and this is a fact. When you have a young quarterback that you don't have to pay $20 million to, those are the teams that are contenders right now. Can we all agree? Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, New England is obviously a different breed. You know, L.A. Rams, things of that nature. So the way that they do it in football is, while the quarterback is young and on a rookie contract, we're going to pay everybody else to help, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once you start to pay the quarterback, then you have to let everybody else go. Now, baseball, when you look at the Braves, the only person they're paying is Freddie Freeman. The payroll going into spring training was $59 million. That's it! $59 million. And they say want to get up to 140. We read this. We go.
Wait. The payroll is only $59 million.
$59 million going to spring training. This is before all the Josh Donaldson signing and all this other kind of stuff. Now, this is the kicker. Let's flip back to last year when Derek Jeter got involved with the Marlins and things of that nature. The Braves was this close to trading for Christian Yelich and JT Realmuto. Ooh. I got it. I'm looking at it right here. I'm looking at it. Ooh. Do you hear what I'm telling you? But they weren't household names, okay? One household name. Most people couldn't have told you who Christian Yelich is, right? But we see them in the East 18, 19 times a year. Mm-hmm. So I knew exactly what it was for, right? They didn't pull the trigger. So they gave up, I think the young kid name was Braxton something from Milwaukee, gave up. That was the biggest fish in the trade to Milwaukee. Okay, so this year, here we go. JT Realmuto. He already said he wanted to come to Atlanta to play with the Braves. Christian Yelich said the same thing. They let the Phillies get him. So they done blew 2 years in a row. They have blown absolutely. They have blown it.
Right.
Now, just to show you how much of a steal this was, Christian Yelich won MVP last year in the National League, and he only signed for 7 years, $49 million, which is an average of $7 million a year. And you got an MVP. The Braves have $59 million they could have played with this year, and they could have, whatever they had to do to sign JT Realmuto. Last year, they was in a position to trade for them both. And they have the assets, and they didn't pull the trigger. So why am I upset? Because, again, the Braves ownership, Liberty Media, has shown that they are constantly consistent in not winning and having the attitude of not winning, because they have blown these deals as far as I'm concerned. And we're going into spring training saying that a Josh Donaldson and signing Nick Markakis back and bringing Brian McCann home is the headline that we're going into the season with, while the Phillies just traded for Juan Segura, traded for JT Realmuto, and now is about to sign Bryce Harper, and they also signed Andrew McCutchen. So now I'm going to have to take me some Advil and some Theraflu and all this other kind of stuff, because the whole baseball season is going to be ruined because the Braves sat back and you watch your competitor, your in-division competitor, get way better in front of your eyes, and then to turn around and Aaron Nola signs a ridiculous cheap deal to continue to be the ace of that staff, and he only getting paid $11 million a year. I'm sick.
Now, if you're one of our avid listeners, this is not what's on our mind. This is.
Oh yeah, it did kind of sound like
we're talking baseball.
My bad.
No, you good.
My bad.
I gave you the floor. I told you.
I apologize.
No, you good.
But did you hear all of that?
Yeah.
Did you hear all of what I just said?
Why? I don't understand, because I don't know if they felt like, all right, because we're winning, we have this young player. Now, a couple of young players. Mm-hmm. Now, since we're relevant, we have people coming to the stadium now. We're good. Is that it? Because if you went into spring training with $59 million, that's the payroll.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it.
That's crazy. Liberty Media has grossed so much money over the last couple of years, and it's not put toward baseball. They allowed SunTrust Park, who probably will be the name will probably be changed to BB&T essentially at some point in time. But as long as SunTrust Park continues to progress, and it went from the first year to the second year up 41% as far as revenue, then they good. It's the same attitude to me that AOL had when they was owning the Braves. Mm-hmm. As long as we can get $2 million through the turnstile, we good. And it's horrible. The ownership is horrible, and I'm to the point to where we as fans continue to blame players for the way that they play, but we never look at the ownership, just like in this Pittsburgh situation. Mike Patton has a point. Let's look at the ownership. Why are we afraid to look at the ownership? It's the owner. It is what it is. The ownership for the Braves suck. I wish they sell the team. If I had some money to go buy the Braves, it's going down.
Well, maybe sell them courtside tickets. You might have enough. Nah, you talking about the Hawks now. The courtside tickets might be.
Yeah, when we get $200.
$113.28.
Exactly.
But anyway, all right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with Ask a Doc. It's a shame, Braves. Come on, man. Especially with the Atlanta United doing what they doing. Come on.
Have a sports injury? Need to see an orthopedic doctor? Ortho Atlanta is one of Metro Atlanta's largest orthopedic and sports medicine practices, providing orthopedic and sports medicine care for the whole family. With 37 physicians and 14 offices, the practice provides the highest level of care for injury of muscles, joints, bones, and spine. Ortho Atlanta offers convenient access to a full range of musculoskeletal surgeons and specialists. Ortho Atlanta also offers on-site physical therapy, pain management care, MRI imaging, and workers' compensation care. The Ortho Atlanta surgery centers in Austell and Fayetteville provide cost-effective, same-day surgical procedures in an accredited outpatient center. Hip, knee, shoulder, back pain? Ortho Atlanta has you covered with specialists in all areas. Same-day appointments, orthopedic care for the whole family. Ortho Atlanta, Atlanta's choice for orthopedic and sports medicine care. Learn more at www.orthoatlanta.com.
What's up? This is Chris Tucker for the 3-point conversion. Let's go.
All right, we are back inside the 3-point conversion sports lounge. Man, it is great, and I hope I don't get in trouble for this, but it is great. Not only when you have like HO, I could call HO. I know right. HO is gonna be there. You know, G is under the weather right now. He's 50%, you know what I'm saying? And he's still hanging in there doing his thing. But you a bad mug when you come on the show after when you had surgery today. And you make room for the 3-point conversion sports lounge.
My man.
None other than Dr. Donald Fowler the third.
Yes, sir.
Is a charm. What's going on, Doc?
What's going on, guys? You can hear me okay?
Yeah, we hear you. What's going on, Doc?
Not much. Yeah, sorry. One hip fracture down. Got another one coming up. But yeah, always gonna make time for you guys.
Man, you can always go to Coach K about some advice about the hip surgery.
Yeah. Oh man.
Speaking of Coach K,
lead in.
Right.
Good segue.
Two Duke fans, crazy fans here.
Yep.
And I'm not talking about myself, and not G. But anyway, we saw the injury. We saw it happen. But we really had all we talked about is more so, is he going to play again? Not because of the injury, but should he just lock it down? What's going to happen with the shoe? Are they going to frame the shoe and all of that good stuff? So, Doc, but let's get into this injury. How serious is this injury? They say it's a mild sprain or strain?
Yeah. So, I can come at this from all kinds of different angles as a fan, as a doctor, as a former team physician for Duke basketball. But, obviously the biggest thing you want is just for the kid to be okay and be healthy. And I think from everything that we're seeing that yes, it is something that's not serious. They called it a grade 1 sprain, and our classification for that is grade 1 being very minor, 2 being kind of mediocre, and 3 being severe, where you're kind of completely essentially tearing a ligament or tendon. So he's on the low end of the spectrum, mild, usually something that heals up pretty quickly, but obviously they want to be extremely cautious with him for many reasons, and certainly his future as well. So,
but what do you think? So is this an injury where, so I guess Duke fans could take a deep breath and we're good,
Yeah, I think so, and of course, anyone who's followed any sports media outlets or ESPN, there's been at least 20 people coming on pontificating about what he should do, what he shouldn't do, and I think the most respectful thing is to say, well, really it's his decision. No one can really walk in his shoes, literally or figuratively, but it's going to be what's best for him. I think what's kind of special about Zion is, despite all the hype and circus around him, he seems well grounded. He seems to really care. Not necessarily about money, but just competing, his teammates, Duke, Coach K. So I think he will come back and play. I don't think that's officially been confirmed, but there hasn't been any talk out of Duke that he's being shut down for the season. But at the same time, they're certainly not going to rush him back and risk kind of re-aggravating the knee or injuring him worse. So normally, if it was someone else, I think maybe they'd even come back within a week or so. I don't know if they'll do that with Zion. There's a chance they might even hold him out closer to tournament time when it really counts and just make sure that he's really 100% ready to go. But I think we're just going to have to see day by day.
Yeah, I know he's officially been ruled out for today, so I definitely won't play today. So we will have to get some other, Alex O'Connell, Jack White. You have to step it up today against Syracuse. But I'm going to move to another big guy that even coming into the NBA had some injury issues. But what I want to ask you about Joel Embiid's knee, not necessarily specifically with this injury, but when do you get to a point where you are classified as injury prone? Like, what is that like with what he has? When do you classify that as a physician as this is going to keep reoccurring? It's nothing that we can really do about it. It's going to keep happening and things of that nature.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I don't. There's probably like a Derrick Rose injury prone classification, and then everything else besides him. But I think what's hard about a guy like Joel Embiid, and in a way, yes, I would say he's on that spectrum, being injury prone. I think he missed the end of his college career at Kansas because he got injured, I think in the Big 12 tournament, and they shut him down. And then, of course, his first and second years in the NBA, I think it was foot issues, fifth metatarsal that he was dealing with, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't know if I'm necessarily putting it on Joel Embiid like, oh, it's his fault, he's injury prone. I think one of the bigger issues is big guys in general are more injury prone because of their size, their weight, how much pressure they're putting on their feet and knees. Now, he's not in the class, like Greg Oden, who broke down super quick. But I mean, you can think of plenty of big guys out there, Yao Ming, Amari Stoudemire, a lot of guys like that, for no fault of their own. It's just so much stress being put on that big of a body that you're gonna have injuries, and it's a matter of trying to be precautious and manage them so they don't turn into something that's, more long term or permanent.
Well, I definitely understand what you're saying, and I always wondered myself. Like I said, I always wondered what was going on, and with Embiid, and is it him?
Yeah, that's
I did, and like I said, I agree. That was a great question.
Before you go, Doc, what do you? I mean, does this come in to where they try to rest him? Is that those kind of injuries? They say, well, we'll go try to save him and rest him for the playoffs and more, a more strenuous run and things of that nature.
Yeah, I think so. It doesn't sound like there was any given injury. They did an MRI that sounds like it came back pretty clean. They just, called it tendonitis. My guess is they're probably referring, typically with basketball players, patellar tendonitis in the front of knee from jumping. So again, I don't think it's anything serious, but they're just doing their due diligence, obviously, and they have big aspirations in the postseason, and they definitely want to have their roster 100% going into it. So I do think it's more precautionary and trying to make sure he's going to be ready to go when it counts.
All right. There you have it. Straight out of surgery with the glove still on. Probably have somebody holding the phone for him with his hands up like this.
Yeah.
We appreciate that, Doc. Always, man. And definitely be looking forward to talking to you next week.
Yes, sir. You guys have a great weekend, okay?
Hey, man, good luck with everything.
Yeah, save a hip.
All
right, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
What's good, family? I'm Marlon Sucker Free Jones, a Sucker Free Life double LC, and I'm locked in every Saturday to the best sports show on the planet, the 3-point conversion, with no team or no players off limits. So let's talk sports, the best of the best, the worst of the worst, and everything in between. Can you dig that?
It's time to get in the mind of Mr. Controversy and the Intellectual with What's on My Mind.
All right, we are back inside the 3-point conversion sports lounge. All right. So, this segment here, What's on My Mind? This is where we get to talk about what's on our mind. Quickly, 2 minutes, just uninterrupted. Depending on what the segment is, G gonna jump in and go in, which he has that ability to do, so it's cool, but...
Yes, sir. G like that high joker.
Oh, yeah, G got all the stuff.
Yeah.
If he see us struggling, he just... We had this guy called Big Google. I'm going to start calling G just Google, because, he know all that stuff. So, but anyway, shout out to Big Google. What up, man? But all right, so this is what's on my mind. The NBA All-Star Game has to be the most coveted All-Star Game there is, especially by players. If you look at the players that were injured before the game, Anthony Davis got injured. Kyrie Irving got injured. He wasn't playing. Now Joel Embiid is not playing. They're saying he didn't get hurt in the All-Star game, but they take him out after the All-Star game. But it lets you know that players really want to play in this game. They want to play in this game. Like, we look at it, it's funny because we look at it as fans like, even though to me it was quite interesting this year, but usually it's like, man, NBA All-Star Game, the last 10 years, it sucked. Like, maybe 2 out of the last 10 has been good, if that. But for some reason, these players want to play in this game. Back when I was watching it, yeah, they all wanted to play, but I guarantee you if they had a chance to rest, they would. Only player I remember doing this is Anthony Hardaway. Anthony was out for probably all of the first half of the year. Came back playing the All-Star game, then sat out the rest of the year. Like, what? But it's something about this All-Star game. What is it? We need to find out why. And why I say we, talking about the sports world, because maybe they can instill this in the NFL. I don't watch hockey All-Star game anymore because, I mean, like, man, it's worse than regular football because you don't hit them. You let them score, no cross-checking or anything like that. Baseball game All-Star game is good. But for some reason, this NBA All-Star game is something with it. The players are having fun. And maybe it's because they're playing, because NBA players always want to play basketball. They always want to compete. But now they're playing with not worrying about winning or losing. I don't know. I just want to know what's going on with this. I've always been wondering about this. And it just showed with the injured players before the game. And then after the All-Star game, somebody else is not playing. But played in the All-Star game. They saying he didn't get hurt in the All-Star game. I don't know. But that's what's on my mind.
Wow. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself, though.
The All-Star? Yeah.
Glad you enjoyed yourself.
It was cool. It was dope.
Yeah. I'm going to be quick with mine, and I'm pretty sure they probably thought, a lot of people probably just.
Thought you did one already.
Yeah, thought I did one already. But,
let's wrap up the show, y'all.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead.
What's on my mind, man? I just think that a lot of media, and a lot of people, and the people who still think the Hawks have made a mistake drafting Trae Young, I think they really need to take a look at what actually is going on. Let's pay attention. Let's stop with the comparison and things of that nature, and what Luka has had big moments. But let's take a look at Trae Young. He's 17-8 basically. He's 7.7 assists a game, averaging 17 points a game. Chris Paul, his rookie year, averaged 16 points a game, 8 assists. Now, you tell me, if we told you that Trae Young would average 17-8 for his first rookie season, that would be a slouch, or as the boys in the hood call it, some bad basketball or whatever, then okay, but 17-8, how can you look at that with a side eye? He has combined points and assists more than any rookie in the league. He's accounted for more points than any rookie in the league with points and assists added together. So for those who continue to think and feel as if Trae is bad for Atlanta or he may not win, man, that doesn't even matter. If you're down with the Hawks, let's get down. Let's take a look at it, and let's stop trying to compare him with another person who's been a professional for the last 5 years. And let's just give it a shot, give it a break, and I can guarantee you, Trigger Trae, a.k.a. Ice Trae, is going to figure it out, and he's going to get better. And that's what's on my mind.
Let's wrap this show up. I feel you. G, as this music's playing, can I get a stop it real quick?
Can you get a stop it, somebody?
Stop it. That's for Harlem Hyde says that Chris Paul's a bum. He said Trae Young is a bust. But did you just hear what he was saying? Maybe he's back. I don't know, but what?
He's a Knicks fan, so yeah.
Harlem.
You know how
come on, Harlem.
they are.
You know you would want Trae in New York.
Tell him Nas is the bust and Jay-Z is the bust and see what happens.
Big
He gonna
take it Timberland.
Nothing.
Yeah, he gonna take it Timberland's off and try to get to him.
Hey, but I ain't mad at Harlem because he's supporting this team. That's how it's supposed to be. I'm with you, Harlem. I take that stop it back. Anyway, we thank you all for listening. Want to give give honor to God. I'm in church.
There you go.
Definitely
was the head of my life.
Who's the head of my life? to G, to HO, and everyone's in the pulpit. But anyway, I thank God just for this platform, man. To do what I do, to get me to say what I say, to be able to make you all mad, happy, upset, want to give me the stop it button. Like I said, I appreciate it, and this is amazing what's been going on the last 3 weeks, but let alone period. So I appreciate you guys. All right, I want to thank all our guests. I want to thank Dr. Fowler, and I want to thank Joel Cordes for coming on. I was going to say Joel Embiid. Joel Cordes for coming on and giving their great analysis. Also want to thank our sponsorship, Cindy Cuz Barbershop, Sucker Free Life LLC, and Ortho Atlanta. And got to thank my co-host, H.O.
Man, appreciate it, man. I'll make it quick. Appreciate three-point conversion. Thanks for having me in, calling me in from the bullpen. Great show. Honor to the big man above for giving me the opportunity to do this each and every week. More sports, Wednesday, 7 to 9, Sports Roundtable. And Raphael finally came on the show. So I don't think we should hear any
Dang, y'all forgot about it. I was just about to be like, yeah. And I still haven't, but
yeah,
he invited me on the show.
Yeah. No, you came on the show. The invite has been there. Let's get it straight.
I felt great. It was great. Yeah.
Yes, for another year or so.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, and I want to thank my family and friends, beautiful wife, children, loved ones, uncles, aunties, cousins, grandparents, brothers and sisters, nieces and nephews, and thank God I don't have any grandbabies. I want to have everybody listen to the show, keep following us, and then this week, love family, let people know that you love them, eat good, watch some sports, keep following the 3-point conversion. We will have all of the access from the Hawks tonight, and we will also probably have a special interview with H.O., Courtside H.O. So we're going to take it. So until then, same time, same show, same crazy host, same sports nonsense. Will you miss me? I'm out. Peace. You just got done listening to the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Be sure to follow us on our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook accounts at the 3-Point Conversion. And also make sure you check out our website, the3pointconversion.com. Be sure to follow us live and listen every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern.